So, because I got drunk, I'm going to start us off with a little fluffer, because who doesn't like to be fluffed? And my name's Rebecca, and I'll be your MC tonight. And my story sort of begins with my childhood, which was saturated in alcohol. My father is a fantastically functioning alcoholic, and there were lots of booze in my house. They were called Drinky Poo. And I was welcome to have a sip of Drinky Poo pretty much whenever I wanted one, all through my childhood. And I was served wine at dinner, and by the time I got into my junior high days, I was well versed in making my own cocktails, which meant that in high school, I never really lost control. I had a very good handle on my drinking. I had a great handle on how much I could drink, when to stop, maintain control. So I never really lost it, and I was usually the good person that made sure everyone else got home safely. That all changed when I was 19. I had been working at McDonald's for about 4 years. So I was rich working at McDonald's after 4 years until I moved out of my parents' house into a fabulous Lindsay box. A lot of you probably also experienced that wonderful box. And no matter how much I worked, I never had any money. I was always broke. So on this particular Friday night, I am not scheduled to work, so I want to go out, but unfortunately I'm broke. And the guy that I'm in total love with is not in total love with me. So he's been blowing me off, and I'm looking for something really good to do. Something that's going to show him that I don't need to hang out with him. I have all kinds of options. So my friend Rob, who also lives in the Lindsay complex with me, he decides that we're going to go to this party being thrown by a coworker of his, and all we have to do is bring our own booze. It's a BYOB, which is so adult. I'm like, BYOB, yes, I know what that means. Great. Now, we are both broke. So we're gonna pull our money together and we put all of our nickels and dimes together and come up with $10 whole. And we take that $10 to the liquor store where Rob looks significantly older than he actually is, and we're able to procure a handle bottle of tequila and a squeezed bottle of wine for $10. So this is quality. This is quality. Now, I don't really know these guys, but I've hung out with several of them at his apartment off and on, so, you know, they seem like they're pretty cool, and they work at AQ. So they kind of have really legit jobs, because I work at McDonald's. So we get over there, and this party's hopping. There are cars all over the place. I have to kind of parallel park to get a spot. And as we walk in, the party's already spilled out on the lawn, and there's a couple guys smoking a joint, and Rob knows them, and he greets them, and they kind of exchange some words. We take a couple hits and roll into the house, and there are people everywhere. There are people in the kitchen, there are people in the living room, there are people in the dining room, and this is like a really grown-up party because there are all sorts of snacks laid out. There are guacamole bowls, and there are bowls of bean dip, and there are bowls of Rotel, and endless Doritos. And I'm like, yes, because I didn't eat dinner, because I only had $5 to contribute to the BYOB. So I eat as much as I possibly can while I socialize and shoot my tequila with my friends, squirting that bottle in my mouth. And about, I don't know, an hour and a half into the party, we decide to be really generous, and we're going to now trade out shots with other people. So we have lots of tequila at this point, half a handle. And so I start taking shots of other wonderful liquors, and it gets even better. So at some point during the night, the tequila runs out, and I am on the couch, but there's so many people around me, and it just feels really hot in there really quickly. And there's this couple next to me making out, deep throating, and on my right side, there's a joint being rotated, and maybe it's a blunt, because it smells really, really sweet, and kind of overwhelming. Not quite a cigar, but you know what I mean. And I just kind of S off the couch onto the floor. Now, at this point, I have to close my eyes because this downward motion has given me the worst spins. Like I'm and I can't open my eyes. I know some people need to open them to stabilize themselves, but I could not open my eyes. I knew if I did, I was going to vomit. So what I decided to do was brace myself and get outside. And I put my hands out, and there's a very solid coffee table in front of me. Like, this sucker's made out of oak. It is hard, it is not moving, and I'm pushing against the couch, and I feel good about that. Eyes closed. And And as I'm pushing myself and bracing myself against the couch, trying to pull up, I decide that what I really need is more oxygen. So I start doing somewhat of a Lamaze breathe, sort of a... And this is tremendously helping me. And I'm starting to lift myself up. I'm pulling myself up. I almost feel like I'm elevating because that's how drunk I am. And as I'm pulling myself up, what I don't know, unbeknownst to me, eyes are closed, there's a large bowl of Rotel in front of me on the coffee table. Now, I get this information secondhand from my friend Rob later on, but this Rotel bowl is right in front of me. And I'm almost up, like I'm hovering to stick my butt out and pop it up, when this exhale of my Lamaze breathing kind of turns into this gush of vomit. And it's obviously the smell of the Rotel, but it's not projectile vomit. It's like more than that. It's more like a fire hose kind of pressure. And it's like virtually lifting me up. And I just keep sort of... Rob said it was kind of like The Exorcist. But am I hitting the bowl so hard with my... Have you ever put your spoon under the sink unwittingly with it's on full volume and there's this huge spray bag? Well, that's what's happening. Like, this bowl is splashing back my vomit everywhere, all around me. And I can hear people screaming and scurrying, but I don't really know why they're screaming and scurrying, but pretty much secondhand story says that my vomit acted like a jackhammer. And the cheese at the bottom of the bowl was hard and it was breaking apart coming out of this mouth. And even better, what I'm regurgitating looks exactly like what everybody else has eaten all night. It's the exact same color and consistency. So eventually I'm done and I feel so much better. And I don't go to the floor, I sit on the couch. I open my eyes and I'm like, yeah, it's better. The thing is, there's nobody else there. There were like 85 people at this party, and they're all gone. Except for my good friend Rob, that's a real friend, and the host, who may or may not be his assistant manager. So, I'm like, I feel good, you know? I feel good. And the host of the party says, get the fuck out. And I'm like, it's in my hair, I'm great. So do you think you have a shirt I could borrow or something? And he looks at me again and says, get the fuck out. And I'm like, God, you don't be a dick. Oh my God. Just trying to find, you know? So Rob and I go, and I don't know really how we got home. I'm pretty sure he had like a booty call waiting outside for him that he promptly ditched me for at the apartment. I wake up the next day extremely dehydrated, and I know I've got to go to work, and I get ready for work, and I'm, barely alive. When I go outside, I realize that I don't have a car. And so I go to Rob, and I'm like, hey man, where's my car? And he's like, it's probably still at that party. And I'm like, well, we gotta go get it, man. I gotta have it. I gotta go to work. And he's like, oh, I don't know if we should go back there. And I was like, was it bad? And he was like, it was so bad. I don't really want to go back there. And I'm like, well, dude, you gotta take me back there. I didn't really know where it was, and I needed my car, okay? So we go over there, and my car luckily is still there because it was a couple houses down, so it had not been towed or anything. And serendipitously, as I'm walking towards my door with my key out, obviously it's mine, and he locks eyes with me. And I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? And he gets out of his car, and he looks at me, and he goes, and I was like, I'm sorry. See you later. So because I got drunk, I never would take you again. I was afraid of what might be in my food. And because I got drunk, I'm pretty sure my friend Rob got fired. Pretty sure. So, That's my story.